Very good evening and welcome to another edition of the S101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I'm Jadabdin. We start off with a look at your headlines.
Newsfirst headline.
And in headlines, IMF commends Sri Lanka's debt progress, warns of ongoing vulnerabilities. IMF reports Sri Lanka's plan to resume vehicle imports. Anesthetic drug shortage reported at the National Hospital. US says Houthi missile attack severely injures sailor. And in cricket info, West Indies leapfrog England in ICC men's T20 rankings. And now your news in detail. In local news, the International Monetary Fund said that Sri Lanka has made substantive progress towards advancing debt restructuring to restore debt sustainability. A swift finalization of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Official Creditor Committee and final agreements with the Export-Import Bank of China remains a priority, said Preetabro, Senior Mission Chief for Sri Lanka at the press briefing on Sri Lanka. He said that it is also important to complete the restructuring with external private creditors consistent with IMF program targets. IMF staff will continue to assist the authorities with creditor coordination in line with the IMF policies. However, he warned that despite these positive developments, the economy is still vulnerable and the path to debt sustainability remains knife-edged. Peterborough stressed that important vulnerabilities associated with the ongoing debt restructuring, revenue mobilization, reserve accumulation, and banks' ability to support the recovery continue to cloud the outlook.
The elections have, of course, not been called yet, so
also in local news, the IMF reported that Sri Lankan authorities have developed an initial roadmap to relax restrictions on the importation of motor vehicles by 2025. They said that the process would start with public passenger and special purpose vehicles in the third quarter of 2024, followed by goods transport vehicles in the fourth quarter of 2024 and the rest in 2025. A detailed plan, including the implications on tax and reserve accumulations, will be finalized by the 15th June 2024, said the IMF in a report. It added that the authorities are committed to develop a plan on removing the remaining administrative BOP measures, including exchange restrictions, multiple currency practices, and capital flow measures by end of May 2024. And shifting your attention towards more local news, a shortage of anesthetic drugs has been reported in the operating theatres of the National Hospital. Sources at the National Hospital say the hospital does not have the anesthetic drugs or anesthetic injections used to numb patients before a surgery or medical procedure. When inquired by Newsfirst, Deputy Director General of the Medical Supplies Division of the Ministry of Health, Dr. G. Vijay Surya, said the relevant anesthetic drugs have been brought to the Colombo port. The Deputy Director General says measures are being taken to clear the drugs from the port today. He said there was a delay in releasing the drugs as the importer has not submitted the documents to release the medicine. And up next is international news.
International news.
And in news overseas, the US military said a sailor was severely injured after a cargo ship in the Gulf of Aden was struck by 2 cruise missiles fired by the Houthis in Yemen. The US Central Command reported the injured sailor was airlifted to another ship for medical treatment. It added that crew members were fighting a fire on board the MV Vobena, a Palawan-flagged Ukrainian-owned Polish-operated ship. And up next is your update on sports.
Sports news.
And finally, in sports, West Indies move up to number 3 in the ICC men's T20 rankings after a resounding victory against New Zealand guarantees qualification. In the latest ICC men's T20 rankings update, West Indies moved to 3rd place and are behind India and Australia currently. With West Indies beating New Zealand last night, the co-hosts became the 4th team to qualify for the next stage of the ICC men's T20 Cricket World Cup. And with that, we wrap up this edition of the S101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I've been Jadabdin. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.